Okay, let's have some real talk today and let's talk about your marketing efforts. And if you're like most of the busy entrepreneurs and service-based business owners I know, chances are your marketing efforts are falling to the end of a very long to-do list. Is that you? So we all know that if you're not getting in front of new audiences, you're not sharing your message regularly and consistently, you're probably also feeling the crunch of not enough prospects and sales. We often call this the freelancers trap, because you do a big boost of client attraction stuff, and then you get some clients, and then you get so busy delivering it, you kind of forget to market your business, and then you're in this up and down cash flow roller coaster. One of the things I like about guest experting is it should become an ongoing part of your like how you get in front of ideal clients. And if you really learn how to do this well, you're going to set this up so that you're constantly dripping your exposure, even if you do a big push of recording all at once. Now, when you're really busy, my guess is you're going to be tempted to outsource getting you booked on podcasts, virtual stages, all of that. And I am a huge fan of delegating and outsourcing, but here's why that might be a really bad decision. Let me explain. Even though I am a huge proponent of delegating, if you delegate without having the right system in place, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of busy work without results. And you need to have your guest expert system in place. And you, the expert, have to really understand all the key concepts, all the key elements, all the key factors. You need to take ownership of your message, getting your magnetic talk, getting clear on all of the pieces so that you get on the right stages with the right message. Because if you outsource this too much, you're not going to get great results. As a matter of fact, you might spend more money and time than necessary trying to feed a machine that isn't performing at all. So here's what I noticed. And again, I don't mean any disrespect to any of the podcast booking services, any of the PR agencies out there. They're doing their job. But if they do not know how to showcase you properly, they'll do their best, but it may not be the right exposure in front of the right audiences. And I know this because I get hundreds of pitches a week to get on my podcast from these kind of agencies. And I see how they're presenting their clients. And I accept less than 1%, maybe 2% max of these pitches, because they do not have the pieces in place to be a good guest expert. And I tried it for a little bit. I tried, showcasing these people, and I realized, oh my gosh, they're horrible guests 9 out of 10 times. And this is not worth me sacrificing the quality of my show. Here's why. Delegating or outsourcing this too quickly is going to showcase you wrong. If you do not yet have your magnetic topic and your talk and like your talking points and all of like your frameworks ready, and this isn't hard, it just is a step that you need to take. Okay. And if you just let the podcast booker kind of give you a little bit of advice, or maybe you take one of their trainings as part of their program, if they have not been doing this regularly, they don't know. They don't have it all figured out for you. You need this piece before you outsource the booking. Okay. So when you outsource this, before you have those pieces in place, you're not going to get the full power of your superpower in front of your ideal audience. And I guarantee you your message is falling short. Why? Because I've been having these conversations and I know who's falling short. They're confused. They're all over the place. Their message is not clear. And yes, we might have a nice conversation, but that's not going to move the needle. That's not going to get buyers. Second, if you're delegating the selection of which podcasts you get on without having a clear avatar and a clearly formed what I call audience avatar and a blueprint of which podcasts are really going to move the needle for you, then they're going to put you on any podcast they can. Because guess what? That's how their performance is measured. Again, they're doing their job. They're doing what they know how to do, what they need to do. Okay. But if you are not in front of the right podcast, if you're not getting booked on the podcasts that are right for you, again, it might help a little bit with your visibility, but it's not going to move the revenue needle. It's not going to get you the clients. As a matter of fact, it's going to start feeling like a big waste of time. And, there's other things, like a lot of times the podcast booking services are going to help you develop your booking materials. Great. What a relief. But are they really great? Are they showcasing your credibility well? Are they helping you pop when your podcast host or the event host is getting thousands of pitches? You want to keep ownership of your message, your expertise, your best way to showcase you. I want you to learn how to do it. I want you to master it. So you have this tool in your toolbox for life. And then no matter who you outsource to, who you hire to help you with, or if you decide to do this yourself, which I recommend actually, because you're going to get a better chance of getting booked. Okay. Especially when you learn how to do this well, than getting on hundreds of podcasts and not getting on the right ones with the right message. So here's the deal. I do want you to benefit from delegation and outsourcing. Like, there's a lot of value in that. I get when we're busy, we need to get things off our plate. I'm a huge proponent. I do it myself, but get the right things off your plate and hold on to the right things that only you can move the needle on properly. Okay. I want you to hire a booking service or a PR firm once you've gotten your message crafted properly, once you know the right audiences to be on, once you've developed your guest expert system, then sure, outsource to your heart's content if that serves you best, but drive the process. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to spend buku bucks and you're going to waste buku bucks, and you're going to miss out on the money-making opportunity, the client attraction, and really having the impact I know you want to have. So if you'd like to get an extra 5,000 to 15,000 a month, or maybe even more, and you've got a message inside of you that's just been dormant, or you maybe haven't even gotten clarity on, and you're wondering, like, do I have a message I could share? And it's time to stop being a best kept secret and get paid well by working with great clients, you need to get in front of them. And Guest Expert System is my proven process of how I do this over and over and over again. I've been doing it for 20 years. Now I just focus it on podcasts and virtual stages, 90% of my time. I'd like to teach this to you. I'd like to help you really have a huge win in this department. So it's time. Let's do this. Today's the last day to save on Guest Expert System, guestexpertsystem.com. Tomorrow, the price goes back up to $29.97. Today's the last day to save $1,000 off, or you can take advantage of the payment plan. Either way, today's the last day to save. And I know that investing $2,000 should be an easy 10x return on investment over the next 90 days to 6 months. And if that's not feeling possible to you, we got to talk, because we got to really fix your offer. This is a really powerful way to stand out in a crowded market and to get into your heart and get that soul message, get that powerful message out of you and out into the world in a bigger way. Okay, I'll look forward to working with you in Guest Expert System. I hope you've enjoyed the tips I've shared over the last few days. We'll have some more coming your way, but today we are looking to get you on more podcasts, on more virtual shows with Guest Expert System at guestexpertsystem.com. Okay, bye for now.